Hello, dear friends. Here we are for another study of the book Right Path by the Spirit Emmanuel through the mediumship of Francisco Candido Xavier. What a blessing to be with you today. And this chapter is number 38. 48. We've been together for 48 weeks. You can always go back to the playlists and make sure that you find the different chapters and the different topics that Emmanuel brings to us that are very enlightening for our discussions. And this chapter is titled by Emmanuel, Current Times in Us. Very timely, even though this book was published in 1971. And just confirm. Today, 2021, we bring to you these teachings in English for the first time, courtesy of the team of the Spirit Society of Richmond, where we translated and revised the content, and we bring to you in collaboration with Kardec Radio. What a blessing to be here. Thank you very much for giving us the honor of your presence and your time. Now let's talk about Emmanuel's message. Current times in us. Quote, you will contemplate the world under the impact of progress, noting that in the midst of the storm comes the presence of renewing work. As the wind of transformation blows furiously upon the earthly ship, altering its course, you will maintain loyalty to the faith in the supreme power which determines your destiny. Many travelers, our brothers and sisters, frightened by this storm, ask for God, while others surrender to disbelief, trying to annihilate time in the drunkenness of the senses, as if time could end. Others retreat to sadness and discouragement, giving up constructive struggle to which they've been called. And many others still drift away, accelerating their own steps towards death, as if death were not life itself. Do not reproach any of them, unquote. That's the first part of this beautiful message. Let's together bring some considerations for our discussion. Think about the words Emmanuel used. He's talking about a storm. He's talking about contemplating this world, our blessed earth, under the impact of progress, the law of progress as well. He talks about earth as a ship, us as travelers, and the effects of storms and winds in bringing us work. Earth being a ship, sailing, floating in the infinity of the universe, follows the laws of physics, of course, created by God and the divine intelligence that work under the guidance of God. But also we have to think about who is at the helm. Christ is at the helm, and he's saying here, while the wind of transformation blows fiercely upon the earthly ship, altering its course, you maintain loyalty to the supreme power which determines your destiny. So ultimately, Emmanuel is telling us that God, the supreme intelligence, first cause of all things, is determining our destiny. Your destiny, dear friends, and the friends of the entire earth, whether they know it or not, is to become a superior spirit with the goodness and knowledge and kindness that one day you and I will display 24/7. Think about this word here. In the midst of the storm comes the presence of renewing work. So what kind of work have you find yourself drawn to? during these times of transformation. The pandemic is also a time where the world is impacted by the law of progress, the law of regeneration, the law of destruction, the law of work. Those are laws that you can find in the third part of the Spirit's book, the divine laws. So, what kind of work God has granted you the opportunity of doing? And what kind of difficulties of our neighbors and friends, of the world in general, that you have been open to observe and care for in the realms of reality that you live in a way that you are able to contribute to the betterment of all. And which travelers are we? If we're talking about the ship, storms and winds, and the presence of renewing work for all of us, let's review the types of travelers that Emmanuel mentions, and think about which ones are we. He says here, many travelers, affrighted, ask for God. Others surrender to disbelief. So are you even deeper in your faith, in your belief in the presence of God, in God's designs for all of us, and God's support through divine providence and God's love for all of us, or we are the ones who are surrendering to this belief because it is difficult to see the suffering, self-inflicted, because humans are choosing the paths that we are in now, but we are slowly but surely improving each and every year, each and every decade, each and every generation. We are improving so very much. Now, let's talk about the rest of the travelers. It says here, those who surrender to disbelief try to kill time in the drunkenness of the senses, as if time could end. So we may see folks giving in to the physical sensations and fulfilling their physical needs only because they think once this life is spent, time will end. And we know that there's more to this physical life than the eye can see. He says here, others retreat to sadness and discouragement. Hopefully that's not us. And if it is, we need to go seek help from our spirit centers, from the fraternal counseling, from psychologists, from physicians. We're going to talk much beautifully about science and rationality at the end of this story. He says, as giving up the constructive struggle to which they have been called. So when we have these moments of transition, of difficulty, we are called to constructive struggle, meaning we struggle, but we learn and we create and we better the lives of all. And others drift away, accelerating their own steps towards death as if death were not life itself. So if we are finding folks or finding ourselves drifting away, accelerating our steps towards death, that would technically be a direct or an indirect suicide. Yet death is not the end. That's just a transformation, a change in state where we return to our physical home. However, we're not saying this in order for us to feel guilty. It's just a self-evaluation. We are analyzing ourselves, seeing where we are, where we want to be, because we want to make plans and follow it. And planning for millenary constructive endeavors is what we need to be doing today. He says here, you will recognize that universities enable reasoning for the glories of the brain, but only the school of life prepares the feeling for the achievements of the heart. So let's bless both universities and colleges and schools that enables us to reason and develop our physical brain abilities and our intelligence, our intellect, our knowledge. Yet Let's work hard in the school of life because that will prepare for the achievements of the heart. And how do we do those things? He says, for this very reason, you will honor science without demeaning consciousness. You will esteem freedom without neglecting discipline. You will treasure knowledge, cultivating goodness. And you will situate yourself on the avant-garde of culture, but as often as possible, position yourself behind suffering, leaving suffering behind. So it's the beautiful approach of the mind and the heart. Reason and science together. He says here, honor science, but don't demean your own conscience, your own spirit, mind. Freedom without neglecting discipline, because a lot of people nowadays think freedom is just the ability that they want to do whatever they want to do because they want to do it. And that's what children do. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Freedom also should not, it's Emmanuel's word, esteem freedom without neglecting discipline. If you look around, the universe is a disciplined, ordered state. There are many disordered things going on around as well. But look, for example, you don't have to go too far. Read No Solar. Look at the freedoms that those inhabitants have, but they also come with the responsibilities of discipline. And why do I say No Solar? Because No Solar is a beautiful example of one of the many, probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of colonies surrounding our planet where the freedom, they're free from homelessness, they're free from lack of health care, they're free from the lower vibrational thoughts that many of us have. They are free to learn, but they need to serve. They need to have the discipline to all of them pray at certain times of the day. All of them commit to living lower level thoughts and not engaging on those activities and having the constructive conversations and activities and the service that if you go to Nosolar, you understand everybody. Nobody likes food, free of hunger, free of thirst, free of the harshness of the elements. But it comes with discipline. It comes with many centuries since the formation of the colony in order for them to get to that stage. So we need to think that freedom is not just doing whatever you want to do, because at the beginning, he says here, maintain loyalty to the faith in the supreme power, which determines your destiny. Yes, we have free will, we have freedom, but that comes with a lot of consequences and a lot of responsibilities for freedom. You say you treasure knowledge. Knowing is fine. Knowing is beautiful. That's what we're doing today. We're treasuring the knowledge of Emmanuel in our lives, cultivating goodness. So we take this knowledge, blend it in with our other abilities, and spread goodness wherever we are. And this is the end of this chapter. I will leave you with the words of Emmanuel for your own reflection. And you remember, you can always share this with people. You can always like, subscribe, follow, and do whatever the newest social media activities are, so more people can know of the good news of the Master. If we're able to subscribe, like, and follow to simple, silly things, we need to be brave to embrace the teachings of the Good Spirit so that not only we can benefit from it, and that's the reason why we do this program, so we can reflect together. We were inspired by the good spirits to bring certain topics for discussion, and then we grow together by applying the teachings in our daily lives. Now, last but not least, Emmanuel says, quote, you will be finally the faithful companion of Christ, whom we accept as a master, and in the certainty that he, the Lord, is with us today as much as He was yesterday and as He is now and will be forever. And we will walk together in every circumstance and listen to the unforgettable call. Now he's going to quote Jesus, quote, love one another as I have loved you, unquote. With the knowledge that we are still works in progress. We're evolving, embedding ourselves each and every day together as we nourish our souls, as we contribute to the spread of the good news of the Masters, knowing that He, the Lord, is with us today as much as He was yesterday and will be forever. And we will walk with Him as a co-creator in goodness by loving one another as He has loved us, understanding compassionately and being indulgent towards our own errors and the errors of others. And that way we can march together in the progress of humanity. So, what kind of traveler are you? And I hope today that you're the traveler that calls for God's grace and for God's help and support each and every day of your lives. Thank you very much, dear friends, for being here with me this morning. And I hope that until I can see you again with another program of the book Right Path by the Spirit Emmanuel through the mediumship of Francisco Candido Xavier, I hope that you will do very well throughout the week. And you can join me again another time, God willing. And until then, stay safe, stay well, take care of yourself, and take care of your loved ones and someone else you know. Have a great day.